A big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. There are few things in street photography as controversial as flash photography. Some photographers use it religiously in their work, while others refuse to touch a flash with a 10-foot pole. Just about 2 years ago to the day, I made a video using flash for the first time, and it was quite an interesting experience, to say the least. I was definitely put way out of my comfort zone, like really out of my comfort zone. As many of you who follow me and know my work and how I shoot street photography, I like to, shoot from further away and kind of keep my subjects' identities anonymous. I work with abstraction, a lot of times with reflection. People aren't really my main focus when I'm taking a photo. They aren't the main subject. But with a flash, I feel like it's the polar opposite. You need to be there in the moment, photographing someone. They are the subject, and you can't hide it. You have to let yourself be known. And the likelihood that someone sees you and reacts to you is tenfold. But I guess more important than anything else, flash photography has such a distinct look. And it's a look that not everyone wants or is looking for. You pick up a flash because you want that look that it provides. So for myself, it never really made sense for me to use a flash because of that. I didn't end up using the flash that I shot with in that video for like a good 2 years, obviously, and I didn't use it long enough for me to completely forget about the batteries in it, and I basically fried that flash unit because of a battery leak. But my friend Alex Munoz, a Tokyo-based photographer here, gave me this Olympus Camedia electronic flash FL20. It's a digital flash, and it works with my Ricoh GR3. It works when it wants to work. But back to Alex. He is a photographer here in Japan, and he uses flash a lot in his work. If you stick around for the second part of this video, I interview him and ask him about his process, how he uses a flash. Yeah, it's really eye-opening to hear how someone who shoots completely different than me, to see his perspective and how he goes about it. But let's go back in time a bit to me shooting with the flash for the first time. I say shoot, but it's more like try to shoot. Bit of a heads up, if you don't like big crowds and tons of people, you might want to close your eyes or let the video run in the background, because we're about to enter a fever dream, aka Shibuya Scramble. So we're shooting with the Ricoh GR3X. I've got this beautiful camera strap sent to me from Artisan and Artist. I think my friend Aaron is somewhere over there. He's wearing an orange jacket. Set it to auto. Let's just see how that goes. Oh, let's bring the ISO to 100 ISO. We're gonna shoot at f8 and 500th of a second. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, into the madness. Oh. Hey, there he is. There he is. How doesn't this work? He's holding a trash bag. Oh. Yeah. Hold on. This is also a 40mm lens, so it's not really the best. Oh. I like the green hair. Well, that did not work. Definitely out of my element right now. Pretty much disassociated myself since being here. Like your soup. Well, there's a Wagyu burger if you want to back up. When you have to choose between your American roots or the country you're visiting. So one of the biggest things I've been struggling with using the flash is finding the right moment and subject matter for when like the flash is actually useful, like it actually helps the photo. It's such a tricky thing to learn when you're first starting out because you want to be respectful to people, and you know, I feel like in order to get good at something, it requires you to mess up and to, you know, make mistakes. And when you're making mistakes with a flash, that often entails, you know, maybe photographing the wrong moment, the wrong subject matter, and coming off as disrespectful. So that's been a hard thing to kind of navigate, like doing flash for the first time. But I feel like where I was shooting in that kind of crazy setting of Shibuya Scramble, people don't even know they're being photographed. So it feels, saying that just now feels like I'm taking advantage of people, and I never want to do that in my work. I will say later on in the video, you know, flash photography is still not something for me, but I feel like this kind of setting is a good place to, you know, practice using a flash, because you don't have to worry about people getting upset or you know, necessarily like picking the wrong subject, because there's so much going on to choose from. So it's easier to mess up in a kind of situation like this. And environment and context and where you're shooting is such a big part of using flash, which is a topic that we'll get into when I talk with Alex. On a more technical note, I was using a 40mm lens because I have the GR3X, not the GR3, which is a 28. 28 would be such a better focal length to use in this kind of setting, using a flash and photographing people like this. With the 40, I was just missing left and right, getting, you know, everything way too, I was basically aiming way too high a lot of the time. So here's some image examples of what not to do. This particular photo I'll put on the screen, I really wish I got it in frame. These people were saying bye to each other and everyone put their hands up. I thought that would have been a great moment had I actually photographed it correctly. So a little bit about this flash. If you're interested in flashes, I'm not an expert, of course, but I don't know if I can necessarily recommend this flash to many of you, because too many times does it not want to sync with the camera. So it takes a while to finally get it to work with the camera. And yeah, you kind of have to like take it on and off the hot shoe, turn it on and off until it finally connects. But once it does connect, it doesn't disconnect, so that's good. I do love the compactness of this. You can just put it in your jacket pocket. So it's not a very strong flash either, but if you're shooting digital, I don't feel like it's that big of a deal. I'm not experienced with flashes, so don't take my word for any of this. This is not a tutorial video, first of all. But you know who is qualified to talk about flash? Alex Munoz, a Tokyo-based photographer. That was a good segue.
Tell me what
Sure.
flash you are using.
Oh, okay. So I got this flash for like $10. Canon 188A. Found this in a junk pile somewhere.
Yeah.
I have numerous random old flashes like this. Cable flash. I have it cabled to a Nikon SC17. Yeah, the cable is separate, and then I just connect it to here, and it works with everything.
Are all flashes kind of the same, or is there like better ones?
For me, shooting film, the older the flash, the better. Or the kind of this generation, 80s, you know, 90s. My settings, I keep them at f8, f11, ISO 100 film, and then the flash will pick up all those highlights, and the shadows will just go to black. That's the look that I like. It's an artistic look that I'm going for. That's why I shoot flash. I'm not shooting flash to exercise my legal rights. You know, on the street. There's a police station over there. They have no problem with me or anybody. Yeah, I shoot flash for my artistic.
I mean, it's a very distinct look.
Right. Well, besides the fact that, for practical sense, I'm shooting film at night, which is very restrictive. That means I'm able to get a nice photo in a multitude of lighting situations. Right. No matter the case. So it kind of takes that lighting question out of the equation and lets me focus on the subject and the composition. And of course, focusing on the subject. Is this a subject that I should flash or not?
Yes, that's one thing I've been struggling with.
Right.
Like, am I flashing this moment because
Right.
it's gonna look cool on
Right.
flash, or is this actually like gonna help the moment
Right.
with the flash?
Yeah, are you going to bruise the scene by being there and by shooting it? Are you going to be threatening or not? Because, of course, shooting a flash is not a friendly. Well, it can be very friendly. It can be very friendly, but it's not inherently a very friendly act, right?
Yeah, let's go somewhere.
So.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, that's the thing. You have different situations, different subjects that you should and shouldn't flash. And
so how do you?
yeah,
I mean, that just comes with a lot of like, you're kind of guessing, judging by the
Yeah.
looks and the appearance of someone. Is
try
that always a good way to go about it? Because you don't necessarily know if
so
someone could be
yeah,
like the worst subject, but they don't look like it.
right. The situation that you're in, the environment that you're in,
Right.
plays a factor.
Right. So you like to shoot like this kind of environment. Everyone's having a good time.
Yeah, everyone's having a good time. It's more friendly. There's more action that's going on. People are having fun. I'm not on a cold street. Some guys are just getting off work, and I'm there, ruining their day. After a long day of work. Like I'm not here ruining anyone's day. I'm, in many cases, enhancing it, having fun with people. Yeah, you could say it's even the more appropriate way of street photography because you're making yourself known, you're making yourself present,
Right.
and I'm not taking a photo and running away.
Right.
I'm there, I'm present, I'm talking to the people before or after.
So in most cases, you have an interaction after you.
Exactly. Yeah, especially if I can have an interaction because I flashed or because I want to flash, then that's a bonus because I'm kind of a people person. I like to talk to people, so
When do you like decide I'm gonna ask before
right.
versus I'm just gonna go for it and then ask,
Right.
get the reaction after?
If there's a pre-existing situation that's going on that I can shoot candidly, and I'm not gonna ruin, their situation, make them feel bad, I'm just gonna take the shot. I'm gonna take the candid photo, and I'm there. I'm present. They had a problem with it. I'm there to talk to them about it. I'm there to talk to them about why I took the photo. If it's a good thing that they were doing, like they were dancing or joking around, and I took a photo of it, then I can just tell them like, hey, you guys look like you were having fun. I'm just a street photographer. I'm documenting the nightlife, and this is what I do, and I can have
Yeah.
that conversation. And if they don't like it still, then that's fine too. And I can say I'm sorry, and I won't use the photo. I delete the photo or what have you.
See, that is a reaction I see all the time
Exactly.
here. Like people are happy
Yeah,
that you flash them.
Yeah, I was holding my hand,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't think I got the flash in the right position. If somebody looks cool and they have a nice demeanor about them and they're not busy and I can take a street portrait of them,
Yeah.
I'll ask them, I'll take the photo, and I do that half the time anyways, so yeah, everything is...
Gives a nice balance to your work. Portraits.
Exactly.
in the streets.
Right, it's a balance. It's a balancing act, and it's not about taking advantage of anyone. It's about making a nice photo and having a good time, and you can agree or not, but it's always a matter of opinion, and it's never
Right.
a black and white situation.
Well, let's follow you around.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We also have Craig, who's also using a flash.
Yo.
Now your flash is a bit different because it's on the hot shoe.
And also because the batteries just died.
So how do you use a flash when it doesn't work?
You switch the batteries. Or you throw it on.
Come on. One more time.
I like your hat. Can I take a photo? Can I take a photo? Oh, wait. One more. Hey, bro. Thank you.
It's always a good spot around here. A lot of things happen. I took a really great photo here before of this girl running. And it's one of my favorite photos that I took with flash, so I want to show you that one.
On the screen. Where are we right now?
Right now we are in Center Guy in Shibuya. It's the street that you walk straight through after you do the crossing. You continue to walk straight in. This is here.
Get a great mixture of everybody.
Everybody's here.
Hey!
There's a lot of places in the world that flash is inappropriate. This is not one of them. This is the place that you have numerous signs, displays, TV screens everywhere.
You don't even know you're getting flashed.
Sometimes it's like, this flash is like nothing.
Right, there's so many flashing lights.
This is like the most unoffensive of things that's even here. But yeah, it fits the environment.
Yeah, that's so much about flash, is knowing where you are,
right.
Knowing the situation.
The environment, everything.
Is that coffee?
I don't know what it's mixed with. But
Coffee?
It tastes like it's
No, it
chocolate.
tastes like chocolate.
It's hard.
You ever use flash on scenes with no people? Kind of like
Trash.
trash. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Rats.
Rats.
Birds.
Birds.
It's weird because it'll be like nothing, 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 so quiet, and then all of a sudden like something crazy will happen, and you have to kind of be quick and like always.
I'm not gonna take
Say it too easy.
Too easy.
So, flash photography. This is such a divisive topic in street photography, which I think makes it so interesting, to me at least. I think there's a lot of people who view using a flash period as being disrespectful. I used to be one of those people, actually, and the truth is, it can be disrespectful. But just like photographing moments on the street without a flash can sometimes be disrespectful. Like Alex said, so much of it comes down to understanding the context of the environment, of the situation, the subject matter. Not every moment and subject you come across is a good time to use a flash. Something that Alex told me, which I found pretty interesting, was using the flash in the way that he does could arguably be the more appropriate way of going about street photography. While I don't 100% agree with that, I totally see where he's coming from, in that he's not, running away from any moment he's photographing. In the first segment of this video, I feel like I was sort of running away from the moment. I wasn't having that interaction after taking a photo with the flash. I think that's also because of the environment that I was in. So I was sort of getting the easy way out by, kind of being detected using the flash. I would also say there was a lot of photos I took that didn't make sense to use a flash in the first place. Like, I feel like these photos, the only thing that's going for is the fact that it was taken on a flash. Like, there's nothing interesting about the composition or the moment. It just looks cool because it was taken with a flash. So the photos that I actually really enjoyed with the flash were in scenarios that are similar to where Alex uses the flash, where people are having a good time at night, and I felt like it was the most appropriate place to use a flash. And I felt like the photos sort of reflected that in a way where the flash was really helping the moment, actually helping the scene and the composition. People wanted me to take their photo. At this point, I was definitely taking a lot more street portraiture, a lot more group photos, but this was all after I had already taken the candid shot. So I think this ended up being another successful experiment using flash, but I don't know if I'm going to continue using a flash in my own work, just like I did after the first video I did 2 years ago. It's such a distinct look and requires such a different approach than I'm used to and want to do, really. So it doesn't really make sense for me to continue doing it for my own work until I feel like making another YouTube video about using flash 2 years from now. Some of you might ask me why I made this video in the first place, and it's a fair question. If you're new to this channel, then you probably don't know that I like to experiment with all different types of techniques. Things that I particularly might not do all that much personally in my own work, but I do it for the sake of making conversation, because flash photography is such a big topic amongst street photographers for good and bad reasons. It's, like I said before, it's so divisive. It's such a polarizing thing that I feel like it's worth talking about. It's so different than what I'm used to, and I think there's a lot to be gained and learned from seeing how someone else who shoot completely different than you do, learning from their process and approach is always beneficial, even if you have no interest in even trying to do flash photography. In the end, I hope you found this entertaining, enlightening, or maybe even shocking. Whatever the case may be, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye. A big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. I've been a Squarespace user for the last 7 years, using it as a professional space for my favorite works, as well as an e-commerce store to help fund my business as a solo photographer and YouTube creator. You don't need any prior website design knowledge to get yourself started. They have several easy-to-use templates, as well as the ability to truly customize your website to your own taste. If it sounds interesting to you, you can try them out for free by visiting squarespace.com/Faisal, and make sure to use the code Faisal at checkout to get 10% off your first purchase.